What Isaiah Thomas has been doing for the Boston Celtics has been no short of amazing. Putting up great numbers, has a streak of 30 games or better, putting up 20 points a game. He's been averaging 29 points a game. He's been going off in all categories. And the second-year All-Star, as I thought he should have been starting, but he got picked as a reserve. But no doubt, he's still going to the All-Star game. And Isaiah Thomas has been a player that last year played really well, made the All-Star game. But this year, he just went out of nowhere and started averaging nearly 30 points per game and is the second leading scorer in the NBA, just behind Russell Westbrook. He's upgraded his defense a lot more. The 5'9" guard, obviously a lot taller players in the NBA. He's one of the best finishers, which is surprising because of his size. This guy is just a pure superstar, and I think this is definitely the superstar that the Boston Celtics have been wanting, and he's come to life with Danny Ainge making a huge trade with the Suns during the trade deadline to pull off Isaiah Thomas, who at the time was seen as a six-man, a guy that comes off the bench, produces 16 points per game. But now he's upgraded that to 13 more points, and now he's averaging 29 points, 3 rebounds, and 6 assists. He's not a guy that's more of a playmaker. He's more of a scorer, obviously, but still is learning the ways of the point guard position. And he's been passed on ball tremendously this year. Not a lot of turnovers, and he's been carrying the Boston Celtics to a 29-18 record, which is good for third in the Eastern Conference, but are tied with the Toronto Raptors right now. But obviously the Boston Celtics brought in Al Horford on a max contract, thinking that him and Isaiah would be a great fit, and obviously they have been, as Al Horford just fits tremendous with Brad Stevens' system. He's a pick and roll type player. He can shoot the three. He just finds open players on the outside on the pick and rolls. He's been doing everything for the Boston Celtics as well, but can Isaiah Thomas lead the Boston Celtics to an NBA title? Obviously, you still have to beat the Cleveland Cavaliers, who have obviously Kyrie Irving, LeBron James, and Kevin Love. When the Boston Celtics have so many draft picks, they have the Nets 2 picks, and they can swap their pick in 2018. They can swap the pick in 2017, and then they have their 2018 Nets pick. So they got 2 lottery picks who could be this year a first pick in the 2017 draft. So they're sitting pretty good on draft picks. They have so many ways they can move this team. They can go out free agency yet again, sign a max contract type player, or they could trade some of those picks at the trade deadline this year or even next year. But is that enough to get over the hump against the Cleveland Cavaliers? You also got the Atlanta Hawks in the East. You also got the Wizards. But even if you beat the Cleveland Cavaliers, you still got teams like the Spurs, the Warriors, who you could be facing in the NBA Finals. So it's kind of a tough situation here for Danny Ainge if he wants to trade them. Those picks, if he gets a guy like Demarcus Cousins, is that still enough to beat the Cleveland Cavaliers in the East? Because that's a tremendous big three of Al Horford, Demarcus Cousins, and Isaiah Thomas. But in the offseason, you can go out and get a guy like Gordon Hayward, who even is a great big three right there. You can even say a big four if they still trade that pick for DeMarcus Cousins. But I'm not too sure if the Kings are going to decide to trade DeMarcus. It doesn't seem realistic if they're going to trade him or not, because it just seems like he wants to stay with the Kings even though they're losing. For some reason at all, I'm not too sure. DeMarcus loves the Kings and basically just wants to turn around that franchise. But still, I think Isaiah Thomas can definitely lead this pack to an NBA title if they surround good players around him. They obviously got very good players, kind of like B-plus players. They have tons of depth. Avery Bradley's been really picking it up, the leading rebounder on this team, which is pretty amazing, as he's been having a great season. Obviously, he's known for his defense, which I thought he should have made the All-Star game, but he did not make it as a reserve. They also got guys like Jay Crowder, who's just a great defender, great shooter, brings the heart and soul of this team. Like I said, Al Horford, Marcus Smart. This team is really good. They have plenty of ways to bring this team, and I feel like if they keep Isaiah Thomas, they could go for a long way. Obviously, Isaiah Thomas isn't the guy that's probably going to lead you far into the playoffs. He obviously needs other players around him. He's not LeBron James, who's just going to carry you through the playoffs when people are injured like he did a couple years back. But Isaiah Thomas will be very good if he gets players around him. They brought in Al Horford, but then they've been doing a better job. The Celtics are bringing around better pieces around him, because obviously they thought Isaiah Thomas was going to be a sixth man for this team, but really turned out to be a pure superstar, going back-to-back All-Star games. And I feel like Isaiah Thomas has the potential of being an All-Star selection every year, and I feel like he could carry them into the playoffs like he's doing right now. But obviously they had to add some pieces, like I said, going out, getting a scorer on the wing, or going down low and getting into Demarcus Cousins, or there's other people, Serge Ibaka, you go after Paul Millsap, who's in the trade offer. trade rumor. So there's many different ways the Celtics can go here. But all they have to think about is whatever acquisitions they make. If they trade those Nets picks, which could be it could be very questionable, because you get a top guy, you can get a top prospect who in a couple years could turn out to be the next LeBron James or Steph Curry or Kyrie Irving. Or you could trade those picks and that player might not stay on your team, that player might not fit good in your system, and then you give up a top prospect, which I feel like right now the Celtics should just continuously rebuild, go through the draft, and see which way they can go there, because right now, in a couple seasons, they're going to be really good, because they have all those assets, and the Cleveland Cavaliers in a couple years not going to be a top contender, because LeBron's going to be gone more than likely. Kyrie Irving is still probably going to be there, hopefully, but I feel like the Celtics have many ways to go, and they're in a tough situation right now. Danny Ainge could trade those picks, but it's very curious which way that he go. Drafting Markelle Fultz, who should be a first pick in the draft. You also got Harry Giles out there. You got Smith Jr. So the Boston Celtics are in a very good situation. Tell me, guys, what you guys think in the comment section about this. Obviously, Boston's a great place. A lot of people like it and want to play, obviously, for the Celtics, because Brad Stevens has been a heck of a coach and coming out of Butler. So tell me, guys, in the comment section what you guys think about all of this. What would you do if you're Danny Ainge or the Boston Celtics, my GM? And I would basically just go out and try to build through the draft, try to get some draft picks, and if those plays don't pan out, they're still gonna have a lot of trade bait. You got tons of trade bait. You got Amir Johnson on that big contract, which you'd probably like to move. I think they have him on that big contract just for trade bait. Get him out of there. But Amir's been playing pretty well too. So thank you guys for watching. It's been your boy Tiki Gaming Tommy. Make sure to tell me in the comment section what you'd do if you were Danny Ainge, and thank you guys for watching.